get right into it. This could be a big topic. Might even have to carry into the next show.
We could. I was just going to say just
But
watch
we
the
don't
rest
have
of
an
the
intro
video.
for it yet. The only thing I got is that. But it's still not enough. We need to have an intro for it.
We used to do the X-Files theme.
Yeah. We can still do that, I guess.
Oh, we still got it. All right. So,
This, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls,
the triumphant return of
Corner.
thanks,
Kevin's conspiracy
You might want to write
corner.
that. You might want to write down 40
The K.
K. K?
It's spelled with K's.
It always has been.
The weird thing is, am I asking K as in the letter K with a question mark or QUE?
K.
K?
K.
Okay.
You're going to have to wear a mustache.
Fucking
one of
fire it up, dude. Let's fucking go.
So, and actually, this week, this is going to be a two-parter because this Conspiracy Corner's topic is going to segue. It connects to another conspiracy. These
can you
two
get to
are
it?
connected.
Start the fucking thing.
I'm getting
We
to
need
it,
more
Shane.
build up than that. We need way more build up.
Oh, yeah, no, build
Let's
it up.
spend
Keep
20 more
building it up.
minutes on a fucking build up, Kevin.
Yeah, and then
want-
go
you
to a
want-
black screen.
Oh, okay. So we'll yeah. So Conspiracy Corner. We're just going to build up to Conspiracy Corner, then not do it. Is that what we're doing?
I mean, I don't know. Are you going to get to it?
I will. I will.
Fucking Christ.
You told me to build up longer.
I
can
was
build up all
joking.
night. All
I
night
don't want
long.
you to build anything. We're not edging. Just fucking go.
Now this is a pretty well-known one, but I don't know if I think you said you know about it, Shane. But
Yeah, I do.
Shane knows everything.
This is a famous one, but like I said, it connects to a bigger one, and we'll do next week. October 28th, 1943.
The year.
Yes,
The day.
and the month. At the Philadelphia Naval Shipyard, the USS Eldridge, which was a cannon-class destroyer. Escort. So this thing was commissioned in August 1943, so just a couple of months before this event.
And a big wine bottle.
Well, yeah, of course, they have to break it against it to christen it, you know?
Yeah, that's what they do. That's why I said it.
Yeah, big wine bottle. So anyway.
Fucking hit you with a flashbang, you fucking dipshit.
So the USS...
What the fuck?
Oh, yeah, here. We got the... this is what the USS Eldridge looked like.
It looked like it was inside a building.
There's no way to pull that up as a bigger image.
Yeah, it does look like it was inside of a building there.
Yeah, translate it. Let's see what it translates to.
Espanol.
Just says
No,
fuck
just
you.
hit translate. I want to see what it does.
Oh,
What
it
the
just-
fuck?
It just makes it bigger.
I like that.
Cool.
Okay, that was weird.
So that's the
Did
USS
not expect
Eldridge,
that.
Beautiful boat.
a cannon-class destroyer escort. And now, what makes the Eldridge special is the fact that it was used in what was called, officially, Project Rainbow. But most people know it as the Philadelphia Experiment.
Bum, bum, bum.
Dun, dun, dun. So what Project Rainbow was the alleged official name for the experiment purportedly combining radar invisibility and optical cloaking and teleportation.
Hey,
All
the
three.
trifecta.
The trifecta. This was the experiment. They apparently had massive generators that they outfitted the Eldridge with, and Tesla-inspired coils, and they used these to create a
They had
powerful...
Tesla back then?
Well, this was after
Elon
Tesla
Musk
was
wasn't
dead.
even born yet.
Oh, well,
He might have
that's
been.
true. Well,
What if he's timeless, Tim?
What if they got the time travel thing right, and Elon Musk came back in time, brought Tesla technology to them, and it's like a loop. Elon Musk is a looper.
Or Nikola Tesla
Yeah, it's probably
Who?
him.
might have been
Yeah.
the one.
So they use massive generators and Tesla-inspired coils. So it was inspired by his technology.
No,
And
we
they-
understand inspired.
Yeah. Just making sure.
You're really inspiring me with the story.
You're welcome. They used it to create a powerful electromagnetic field, and they were drawing on Albert Einstein's unified field theory, which was an unfinished attempt
Jesus, Kevin.
Can-
Are we going to get through this?
What the
Unify
fuck, dude?
electromagnetism and gravity.
Woo!
Kevin's like, I'm just gonna skip one letter
Yeah,
in each word.
So at the
Cutting
time,
it short.
so at the
Every letter.
So at the time, Einstein was reportedly actually consulting with the Navy on explosives because this was during World War II.
All right.
So Einstein was doing a lot of work with the government. There was a lot of other scientists that were as well.
Einstein's in one of the Soras that I had.
Oh yeah, I've seen him. I've seen him wrestling like fucking all kinds of.
No,
different
he was
people.
with somebody else. It was funny.
He was in a wrestling match with the Queen of England in one.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
It was a good fight.
The Queen kicked his ass.
Well, I had my money on Einstein. but-
So did I, but his back went out. So, what ended up happening when they activated these contraptions on the Eldritch was a greenish. Now, reportedly,
By a
allegedly-
guy who made all of it up. But go ahead.
Possibly, yes.
Possibly.
A greenish blue fog enveloped the ship, rendering it optically invisible.
Cool.
It
Except for the
allegedly-
big green thing that you're like,
Yes.
just shoot into that.
Allegedly, it teleported 200 to 400 miles to Norfolk, Virginia, then back to Philadelphia in minutes. And when the head of the experiment and all the rest of the people that were watching on the outside went on board the ship, they noticed that horrible
No Kevin?
things had happened to the crew.
What do you mean?
Well, some of the crew were fused physically inside bulkheads
They were all gay.
into the
Tim.
metal
They came back at
flooring.
Space docking?
Project
Yes.
Rainbow, Tim.
Yeah.
What
They
do you
got
think happened?
really, really close relationships
Yeah.
with the Eldritch.
They all came back wearing leather. A
Others,
lot of leather.
others materialized inside out. Their guts and other ooey gooey stuff inside of them was just splayed all over
I
the.
know, we're just a soppy
ground.
mess.
It was a mess. It was They needed good janitors that day.
It was a lot like that.
Yes. Some of them just went fucking insane and were despondent. Others caught fire. They randomly would catch fire.
Game over, man. It's
This
game
one
over.
does, dude.
What the fuck are we gonna do now?
Others phased in and out of reality right in front of the people that were coming on
okay.
the
I
ship.
My attention
vaguely heard
span's
something
doing
about
that.
that. I kind of remember someone's
Well,
account of that.
And the thing is, all these guys that were affected this way, they the ones that survived, obviously, they never recovered. These things were happening to them for the rest of their lives, however short they may have been.
Just fucking phasing in and out.
Yeah, phasing in and out of reality.
Catch me.
So,
So
does
they all became pedophiles.
maybe, yeah. I mean, who knows where they were phasing
Well, that
to?
seems to be a lot of the stories you bring up.
They
Kevin.
could have been phasing into a child's bedroom somewhere in New York.
Wow, that was very specific.
It
Did
was
you
very
do that?
Specific. Yeah, I was on the Eldritch.
Jesus Christ, Kevin! You're like,
so-
no, I've been a phaser for my entire life.
Phaser, is that what we're gonna call
Yeah,
them?
you're now a phaser.
So dozens of sailors reportedly died or were permanently damaged.
It was like 16.
Some
apparently.
disappeared permanently. I don't.
I
don't
think
know
that
the
was
exact
the
number.
original number.
So survivors also allegedly experienced temporal disorientation, and some of these guys, it didn't happen until later on, spontaneously combusted.
Yeah. Because
What's
they're-
that mean?
They
'cause
blew up. They caught
they-
fire and exploded.
They phased in and out and were made of kerosene when they came back.
yes. So now the thing is that there was one of the people, one guy who came
One of the people.
years later. It was in the 80s or something when he came forward and claimed that he was actually on
Because he had a
Eldritch.
book to sell.
Well, yes, he did. He did. There's always a book.
There's always a book. That's why I believe Bob Lazar, because there's no book.
Bob Lazar. I go back and forth on him with him.
He's a lot more believable than a lot of these people
I
who
would
are
agree.
like, I've got a fucking
Yeah.
eight
I-
thing. Well, here's another problem.
I would agree.
One of the guys connected to, I think, this whole thing. No, it's not this one, but it's another conspiracy.
Mm-hmm.
He ended up coming forward and saying, like, all these things. Then other people started, saying that they were in that experiment too.
Yeah.
And he was like, no. So he started suing them and saying, these are all my intellectual property that may or may not be real.
Oh,
And
boy. Oh, man.
It's like, what the fuck?
It's like, well, way to go, destroying what minor credibility you
a-
may have had.
It was the one where the kids got trained to go to space to fight on like Mars or another planet. I forget what that one's called.
I think that might be part of
it
the
might,
next
I
one
think
we're
it is
doing.
part of the next one.
The next one.
So he is.
Yes.
We
will cover.
He's
some of that
completely
stuff.
in that.
Yes, we will cover that on the
Montauk.
next episode, the Montauk Project,
Yeah.
which has some connection to the Philadelphia
Yeah,
experiment.
it came from this guy's fucking.
Yes.
I went to 87.
Now this guy, his name was Al Bielek, and conspiracy theory
Al
circles.
Bielek, your butthole.
He is a very famous guy in conspiracy theory circles. So we're gonna listen to Al Bielek talk about his experience.
We are
Yes, we are. We have a video of him talking.
very
about
handsome
it.
though.
He looks old.
Hello, my name is Alfred Bielek,
Well, you must
more commonly known as Al Bielek. Original family name is Edward Cameron. I have been involved in the Philadelphia experiment, the Montauk Project, time travel, alien connections of the Montauk Project, and some other projects, all of which have been secret over the years, most of which have never been declassified. I wound up in the 28th century, and this was in the time period of 2749 to 2751 AD. Talk about changes in civilization, society, and everything else. It was drastically changed from what we saw in 2137, as this is now 600 years later. The cities were enormous. The cities were beautiful. They had ground-based cities, much as we have always had them, but they also had something else, floating cities. Floating cities, due to anti-gravity techniques being perfected sufficiently that they could float an entire city, which was perhaps not as large as any of our current cities. It was round, or very nearly round, but it floated on this platform, and they could move the city any place they wanted, remaining floating in the air, 4,000 or 5,000 feet above the ground, perhaps, or a little less, depending on what they wanted. But the size of the city was vertical, rather than horizontal, 2,200
Battle Angel?
stories high.
Yeah.
That's about 2.5
There's that little
miles.
floating
The
city.
cities could move anywhere
Is that
on the planet.
Alita or
Basically,
Attila?
they stayed
Alita.
hovering and floating.
Attila
Other than
was
like
the
a particular location, they moved somewhere else.
like that one.
There wasn't that much
Alita's
traffic
great.
in moving cities, I can assure you, because the
Supposed to be a
world
second
population in that era, the 28th century, was only 500 million, and I was instructed later that was where they had held it for centuries.
I was gonna
There would
say,
be no more than approximately 500 million population.
Exactly
Some
what
of the
was on the
features
fucking
of this.
Georgia Stones.
Let's
They
start
just
from
showed
the political standpoint. As I learned, all of these cities, whether they're ground-based cities, which the majority were, because they had to do manufacturing, they had to have agriculture and various other things to supply the needs of civilization. But all of them, whether floating or ground-based, were rather interesting in their governmental form. They had essentially no government. There's no government as we know it today. There was no money, there's no banks, there's no political jurisdictions, and there was resolved down to what would be best called a city-state structure, where the city is the state, and any other cities from that one are independent and operate in their own independent
So there's
manner.
city-states,
so that
but
was
no
the
governments.
major change there.
doesn't make
There was no
sense.
No,
elected
it does
government.
not.
There was no appointed government. There was no government as we had ever seen it in the past. As I found
all
out,
ran by
each
AI.
city was run by an intelligent computer,
it is.
synthetic intelligence, synthetic consciousness, a highly radioactive crystalline structure.
That's
Who
what we're
built
gonna
them,
go
I
towards
had
anyway.
no idea. Nobody
we're-
seemed to know.
that'll be next
but they've been
week.
there for
Yeah.
hundreds
Well,
of
it's
years.
either going to be by
And
force
this
or we
computer
just allow
ran
it
the
to
entire
happen.
city. There were guidelines
My guess
set
is
down.
force
There
is
were
how it's
laws,
gonna happen.
law books, but no courts. There were guidelines set down as to how
Palantir.
you're to behave,
Yeah,
what your parameters
yeah, right.
were. Within these parameters, anything went. Anything was not considered kosher within this realm, this parameter limit, would be expressed as a yellow zone, i.e. a zone that you don't want to go into and you don't want to become involved in that type of behavior. If you got out into that area, you were given an invite for a reprimand to the computer, which there was one in every city, running each city. You would literally be called in for shall we say, an interview or an audience with the computer, and you would be advised that you had broken the law, but it wasn't considered a felony, it was a misdemeanor. A misdemeanor and such. If you were judged guilty, you were sent off to one of the work camps for whatever purpose they did in the work camps.
That sounds like
Very
China.
much like today,
It
I
does,
presume,
doesn't
where
it?
any kind of labor,
Or,
menial or otherwise, had to be
another
done was
kind of
done, and that was
communist,
compulsory. That was not
society.
voluntary. If you were called in
Can't
because
wait.
you had gone outside the yellow zone into what is called the red zone, which is basically what you would today call a felony offense, you were immediately called in for an interview, You were examined, looked at, talked to, and if the computer at that point thought that you were rehabilitable, that you could learn again to be sociable and within the social bounds
no computer
of
would
normalcy,
have that.
you were given one more chance. If the computer decided
determination of
that
how
you were not capable
there's no
of
way a
fitting into
computer could
society,
determine
you
that.
were terminated right then and there. Now, there
There's
were
no
other
way.
people who
Terminated
didn't
right then
feel
and
like they
there.
could fit
Yeah, I was
into
gonna
the
say, it was
society,
crazy.
but had not yet
It wouldn't
committed
say,
any
well,
of the so-called
we'll give
offenses.
you another chance. You look
Literally,
like-
they were allowed to leave. If the word was,
No
if you
AI
don't like it
structure.
here,
Pretty
go-
harsh.
go
You
live
either get
somewhere else.
two
Go out in the
chances
boonies if you
or-
want. Live as a
or
hermit.
one.
We don't care.
Eliminate it.
And
I
many
mean,
did.
an
I do
AI
not know
would
what
probably
percentage.
just
Quite a lot of
eliminate.
people had left the cities and gone out in the boondocks. Whether they formed communities or not,
Yeah,
I
'cause
never
you'd
did
think the
find
AI
out.
would
If
think
you weren't required
logically,
to work,
yeah.
which
Yeah.
no one was
It could
required
easily
to,
go
other than
through
their
and
social
go,
obligation,
is
which
this
was
person gonna
well
be able to
inculcated into the
contribute
kids,
again?
that you had an obligation
Will this
to
person reoffend?
contribute
Well,
to
no,
society,
they might
to
look
pay
at it
for
like,
what you have
could you
been
contribute
using and
again?
had inherited.
Yeah, that's
You know what I
So
mean?
it's no
Good
money
point, yeah.
was involved.
If you could
A sort of
contribute,
credit
even if
system
it was
still
small, it
functional,
might say,
but
fuck it,
otherwise,
well, let's try it.
except for fairly large
Oh, right there, he
credit
talked about a
purchases, if that is the
social
right
credit
term.
system.
Which is
They
what
didn't
we're
really
already
keep track of
doing.
very
Yeah,
much.
China's doing
when
it.
was
It
this
was
recorded?
considered quite
Like in the
free
80s?
as
This
long
was in the
as
80s,
you
yeah.
were able to make
Alright.
some contributions.
One of the things
and
he had said,
in no
too,
way overloaded
outside
the
of
system
this,
with demands.
was that
happened very seldom.
after
that
the
there was an
Philadelphia
overload
experiment, they
of
had him and
demand
his
for
brother
goods and
go to like
services.
1980
So as a
something.
result of that,
Yeah,
there
that was part of the Montauk project,
Yeah.
though. We'll get into that next week.
Okay.
So you guys, you get the idea.
Yeah, this is a guy, some madman
so-
just rambling on. I mean, it sounds
Yeah.
pretty well either rehearsed.
It's definitely well thought out.
Yeah.
But you
Made a
know,
book.
the guy also had many years to come up with these ideas for his book.
Yeah, well, and the thing is, there was already talks of the Philadelphia experiment and
Yes.
potentially what happened or may not have happened.
And one of the
He
now,
gravitated towards that story.
That's what a lot of people believe. And thing
So
is,
he was a time traveler from the Philadelphia experiment that went ahead in the
into
future, or is
he went
from the future visiting in the
he
80s?
he,
Well, no,
no,
'cause
he went to the future and then he came back and then was involved in the Montauk project when they sent him back.
And I was
going
going
to
to say, initially, the Philadelphia experiment, what it was, they didn't know. They thought that they were just creating this optical illusion.
Yeah,
to,
Yeah.
that's what Kevin
to make
covered.
that
yeah.
right. So they thought that they were making that, but with the technology that they had it way too powerful and all that shit. And
Yeah.
that what happened is it actually transported to another place 15 minutes before it actually went there. Right? So it's there 15 minutes before, and then I believe like 5 minutes later it showed up again.
Yeah, it was shortly after.
So it was like about 5 minutes later, then it showed back up where it was originally. Now the problem with that is that ship was not in that fucking harbor at all.
So
that
yeah,
day.
and we're gonna get to that as well in just a minute. So
my
I do
bad.
want to talk about the other the first guy that came forward about this project, and this is probably the guy that it made it up originally, and that Al Bielek gravitated towards later. So and this guy, so this story originally burst into the public eye in the 1950s, and that's thanks to a mysterious figure named Carl M. Allen, better known as Carlos Miguel Allende. So he was a former merchant
Just pick
mariner.
one of them.
Allen claimed he watched the whole thing unfold from the deck of the SS Andrew Forsyth.
Goodness
I think
sakes.
also wasn't in that harbor. That
Right,
day.
it was not. So it was a nearby ship, he claimed. So in rambling letters filled with erratic capitalization and cryptic codes, he contacted astronomer and UFO researcher Morris K. Jessup, detailing the experiment and warning of its dangers. Allen even annotated Jessup's book on UFOs with notes about alien tech and government cover-ups. Oh, they work together.
So was this from like his fucking journal, just like Operation High Jump?
Yeah, I think it's something like that. Yeah.
It's like a journal they found, but
yeah,
it was
yeah.
written in crayon by a kid fucking 20 feet away.
exactly. Now, this book that Jessup wrote, it apparently talked about alien tech and government cover-ups, which somehow ended up at the Office of Naval Research decades later. And then Alfred Bielek is the other alleged survivor who came forward later in the 80s. What Shane was talking about the ships is that, well, there's a bit of a problem with where these guys say that these ships were at in
And
their
now-
story.
One thing in their defense, you can falsify documentation.
Yes.
You know
yes,
what I'm
can.
saying?
Oh, yeah.
So,
and
like,
if this
later
is
on-
a government conspiracy, then yes, they could have easily
So,
falsified documentation.
In their defense, there's that. However,
Yes.
go ahead.
So, according to Navy records, though, the USS Eldridge logs show it was actually in the Bahamas on October 28th, 1943, for shakedown cruises.
Pretty far
Then
away from
Atlantic
Philadelphia.
convoys. Yes. So no Philadelphia docking, according to the records. And then the captain of
Kevin
the
does a lot of
SS
docking.
What can I say? It's
Space
fun.
stuff. Real quick question, not to sideline too
yeah,
much.
yeah.
So this ship and the technology on it actually did physically exist. There's documentation of all the stuff that had happened.
No.
with-
No, there's
Oh, okay.
there's the ships existed. However, we
that
don't
equipment that
know,
they're talking about. That you were saying the
Yeah,
whole
the-
Tesla coils and all
Yeah,
that shit.
we don't know
Testicles?
if we
Yes,
don't know.
testicles.
Yeah, we
You know,
don't
a bunch
know.
of testicles on
They-
this
they
ship.
were
Yeah,
they were like
sailors.
they were
Seamen.
Yeah, they
A
were
lot of it.
They were like gravitational generators and Tesla-esque like technological.
But there was no
coils.
actual like physical like information saying these things were actually created and put
There's
on
No,
the
but
ship.
they
there's
wouldn't
no
have
records.
anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, so this was like a blacked out whole bunch. Of
Yeah, so this was one of those things where it was if it existed at all, it was a secret operation.
all right.
And now, also the captain of the SS Andrew Furuseth. That's a weird one. Furuseth.
Führer. Seth.
Furuseth.
Faruka.
The logs confirmed normal operations, and they were
Just Furuseth?
they were nowhere near Philadelphia. Furuseth, I think. Yeah. But
doesn't seem that
it was
weird.
No.
It's a I mean, it's a weird word.
It
but
is a
it's
weird
not
word.
like,
Yeah.
Doesn't seem super
But
crazy.
the logs confirmed normal operations and that they were nowhere near Philadelphia at the
yeah,
time.
both of the ships also were in like opposite fucking parts of
Yeah, they were both spread
the
out.
Western Hemisphere.
Exactly. Yeah, and so there are some alternative explanations because there are people that have come out, after the story came out, claiming they saw the green fog and everything.
Yeah,
and,
there's always.
but those things can be explained if they ever saw it. Those could be explained just by wartime rumors, bar stories of green fog from degaussing
Well,
tests, or
not just
optical
that.
illusions from radar and electromagnetic interference.
The other thing too is like during that time period, there was a lot of experimenting on a lot of wild fucking shit.
Yes, there was.
I
They were
mean-
doing. Admittedly, they were doing crazy stuff and trying out crazy ideas
Well,
back
the
then.
U.S. and fucking Great Britain were trying to build an aircraft carrier entirely of ice.
And that did not work.
No, it did.
Well,
It
yeah,
did?
Is that why there's so many anti-ice protests? And
Yeah.
shit going on?
They don't
Yes,
like it.
Yes.
People
Climate
are
change,
not
bro.
into it.
Climate
They're-
change.
Got it.
They're like-
I didn't know that was that offensive.
That aircraft carrier sunk the Titanic too. It's
So
pretty
when,
crazy.
so when it comes to verifiable proof,
There isn't.
there
any.
isn't any.
All right, so
There
this is all
is-
just accounts of people.
So these are accounts of people, and
yeah, Stephen King has seen a lot of crazy shit too.
in his
yeah,
dreams.
sure. And the thing is though,
Fire
Carl-
starters, shit like that.
so what's his name? Carl Allen. So his family have talked about him since back in the day, and they said, well,
He's kind of a liar.
he's kind of Well, they called him a master leg puller with a history of psychiatric issues.
Yeah.
And he later admitted parts of it were a hoax to scare Jessup, the guy that he ended up writing bits in his UFO book and helping him with that.
But that's the thing is all these stories end up, like there's definitely conspiracies that I go, okay, that sounds reasonable and potential.
Sure.
You know, but those usually involve like covert shit, like MK Ultra. All the stuff connected to MK Ultra,
Yeah.
and we only know like 20% of it,
Yeah.
which is crazy.
Well, and you
But
know,
when it comes to this type of shit, I go,
and hey,
where's the proof?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Let's say there's even a bit of possibility that anything like this or tests like this may have gone on. Maybe the government had tried to do stuff like this in the past, but I doubt anything came of it. If they
Obliterated
did.
the whole fucking ship of people is probably what happened.
Yeah,
more
it's
than
just
likely.
gone.
Yeah,
They're like, hey,
Yeah.
what if we blow up a nuke on this ship? Would that make it disappear and reappear?
yeah.
Made of ice.
Yes,
So-
we'll make it a vice.
The thing is, though, back in the day in World War II era, they were using Navy technology like including degaussing, using electromagnetic coils to demagnetize ships.
Degaussing or degaussing?
Degaussing.
Yeah,
Gaussing.
Yeah. I knew I'd heard the word before, but I
Yeah.
was like, maybe it's a different one.
But they would also use electromagnetic coils to demagnetize ships to make them invisible to magnetic sensors. So that was real. They
Yeah.
really did do those things.
And then, of course,
Well, yeah, didn't a lot of sea mines have magnets on them? That's
Yes.
how they were attracted
Uh-huh.
to boats.
And,
Yeah.
and then what you do is you have something like that. Somebody sees this thing. They don't like the captain of the ship. They're still technically fucking. What is it? Top
Gay?
secret,
Yeah.
kind of.
Mhm.
So the people on the ship don't now know what it actually is. So they start fucking theorizing, and then these fucking rumors get to the fucking people on
Yep.
shore.
And then people run with it and
Yes.
maybe come up
It's
with
a
their
big
own
game
ideas.
of telephone.
Yep, exactly.
And then this fucking asshole.
Yeah, and so a lot of the people that have come forward claiming that they saw this or whatever. Really, we only got the names of the two guys
Yeah.
but other people in the past have come forward. Like there's been documentaries where they've like those old shows like Sightings and stuff like that, where they would talk to people who claimed that they saw it, that they were
Yeah, those are
they were
fun
in
shows.
Philadelphia. Yeah,
I love those shows.
and
Like Unsolved Mysteries was one of them.
yeah,
That was
yeah.
a good show.
So
what's
there's
the name of that guy? The main guy, the original guy?
Carl Allen.
Nope, the other guy.
Oh, Al Bielek.
Al Bielek. So the problem is they've actually gone and done searches on his records for military service.
Yeah,
There's none.
there's
Of course not.
None.
Yeah.
Zero.
Of course
Same
not.
with his brother, who we'll figure out a little bit about next week.
Yeah.
But none from either of them.
Well, and that's the thing.
And definitely not on those ships.
Yeah, exactly. And the ships that were not actually in Philadelphia Harbor.
One of them was like 1,500 miles away.
Yeah, yeah.
The other one was like 400 miles away.
Yeah, totally different places at the
Yeah.
time.
So
According
there's
to Navy.
legitimate documentation of their placement at
Yes.
the time.
Yes.
So that's all been.
And
Well, that, again, if it's a top secret fucking program, it's not hard to falsify documents.
that's right. Yeah, and tell captain like the captain of the Furuseth said we weren't there. We were off doing other things somewhere else. They could have told him, "Hey, we want you to say this officially."
Yeah.
and say nothing other than that officially.
okay.
And
I mean, there's liars on both sides.
yeah.
There has to be.
So
For progress.
So there is one suspicious death in this situation. Jessup, the guy that wrote that UFO book and spent a lot of time with Carl Allen.
He was found with a ship around him.
Yes, a ship wrapped around his head.
Through him. It's just
yes.
kind of through his belly.
Yeah.
He's got a fucking
So
16-inch gun.
he committed suicide, quote unquote, allegedly in 1959
By turning himself inside out.
Yes, he did. He combusted in front of his entire family. Car exhaust
just made it.
asphyxiation.
What
in
was his
in
Well, that
name?
sounds
garage.
normal.
What was his name?
Jessup.
It was
Carly Rae Jessup.
Yeah. let me.
Friday.
Jessup.
Just a
The
second.
guy that just killed himself that wrote the book.
Jessup, UFO. Maybe see that.
Yeah, I just got to find his name. It's up here somewhere.
Morris K. Jessup.
That's him. Yep, Morris K. Jessup.
Hey, UFO worked.
Oh. Look at this. The Wikipedia's a little,
Astronomer, ufologist,
He was born in 1900.
1900. So he was about 59 when he died.
Good call, Kevin. Way to
I
go.
know math.
Way to look at the easiest number to start from and then conclude that when he died in 1959, he would have been 59.
wow. So he had a pretty, that's tough. Wife left him, traveled to New York, and then offed himself.
Well,
So it
hey,
sounds like he was sad.
Yeah.
maybe
that-
he did actually kill himself. It's,
Found along a roadside with Jessup dead inside. A hose had been run from the exhaust pipe
Oh,
into
not
a
in
rear
his
window
garage.
of the vehicle, which had been filled with toxic fumes. So yeah, Dade County, Florida.
I like how they say that it was ruled a suicide, but how come they don't rule that it was just he was now cured?
yeah, right.
No more sadness.
Cured of sadness.
He's no
So it
longer
says
sad.
friends said that he had been extremely depressed and had discussed suicide with them for several months.
So yeah,
I mean, that probably sounds like a suicide.
That's
It's not the same
possibly
thing as like
a-
that one list that shall not be named,
Yeah, yeah.
where people shot themselves multiple times in the back of the head.
Oh,
and
yeah,
angles that
exactly.
you couldn't possibly do
Yeah.
with the hand.
He had several books. Looks like 4 books.
Yeah, all UFO books.
Yeah, he was a pretty well known UFO writer, and
UFO in the Bible.
so thing is now this generated a lot of popular media. Like for instance, in 1984, there was a movie called The Philadelphia Experiment, which
Yeah,
was about
I remember
this.
that. I watched that.
Yep, there's been a bunch of documentaries. There's also been books on the Montauk Project, which we'll cover that next week. And the connections to UFO lore, because there's also been claims that this technology may have been UFO technology that had been recovered.
Yeah, there's all these claims of that with
Sure.
most of these things.
Yeah. And, so...
That we're too stupid to do anything on our own.
Yeah, of course. Humanity cannot do anything like build the pyramids without, the Anunnaki.
I mean, look, the pyramids, that's a weird one.
It is a weird one.
it was
but
David Spade that helped with that, didn't he?
Yeah, building the
Yeah,
pyramids.
Yeah.
He's also ageless.
Why? What's the connection?
The movie. Was that David Spade?
Which movie?
David Spade. Help the
Are you thinking of the
Egyptians
movie
with
Year One?
No,
with
no, no.
Jack
no,
Black?
No. Building the pyramids and the Stargate.
David Spade was in the
Oh,
It
Stargate.
wasn't David
Stargate.
Spade.
Oh,
What was
you're talking about James Spader.
James Spader.
They're the same guy.
Like,
There's
yeah,
a spade in there.
the guy from Black Sheep.
Yeah. Tommy Boy.
Look,
What the?
this is
From
drawn
the-
on
the
long enough, dude. I'm
Blacklist.
fucking getting.
David Spade and then the Blacklist
Yeah.
in Boston
Yeah.
Legal.
Okay, so he was not. He wasn't in Stargate then.
No.
No,
All right.
James Spader was.
But aliens did make the pyramids in Stargate.
Yeah.
yeah. And
so
according
There
to
I was kinda right.
faces.
and according to
You had a-
conspiracy,
You almost had a reference.
And according to
What
the
the fuck is he
conspiracy,
looking at me for?
I don't know.
According to a conspiracy, the Stargate ended up in Iraq with Saddam Hussein.
Well, yeah, that's why we went to Iraq, dummy.
Yes, we wanted that Stargate.
Jesus
back.
Christ. All right, well,
So that is the Philadelphia Experiment.
should we end with a couple of the Sora videos and then call it a day, or one of them?
Yeah,
I
why
don't
not?
fucking care, dude.
All right, let's end with a couple of funny videos.
This is. We're gonna follow up Kevin's conspiracy corner with Shane's brain rot.
It's brain rot.
Oh
it's
my
fun.
fucking god!
It's fun
Let's
stuff.
start from the
is
bottom
fun
and work our
stuff.
way up.
It is fun stuff. I love the
Go down to-
WWE stuff, like where
Trick or treat.
Martin Luther King Jr. is
Okay,
giving,
go to
like,
the MLK.
Which one's that?
It's up.
Martin Luther King
You'll
Jr.
see it. It's
He
MLK.
says the only rights you're going to get will come
You're
from my
gonna take
fist.
care of that, and I am
I
going to
can't
open
fucking
that up.
see any. There we go.
I'm gonna go.
Sir, you still need to pay for those.
I have a dream that one day these will be free of charge. Today is that day.
God, that's so real looking.
Sir, you still need to pay for those.
I have a dream.
That's awesome.
Here comes Stephen Hawking rolling smooth down the runway. Plant is in and he is
Oh, he
up,
hit it.
over the top.
He
Clears
hit it.
The
Oh,
ball
he hit
stays.
it. Look at
Incredible.
that. There you go, Steven.
Here comes Stephen Hawking.
Mind over matter.
Oh yeah.
This one's good. I like this
Here we
one.
go, direct hit. Hydra gets underneath, big flip.
There it is. Einstein.
You gotta explain these for our listeners.
Listen to
What we're
this
watching.
crowd.
It's fucking BattleBots, but with Stephen Hawking.
Direct hit. Hydra
Einstein's
gets
driving the other
Einstein's
robot.
driving
Yeah,
it.
it's fucking great. And we'll end with.
Yeah, this stuff never gets old.
Fuck it.
Big right hand from Martin.
It's
Hawkins.
UFC.
Gonna be shaking.
He's trying to keep that left
And the
up,
thing
but
is,
there's just nowhere
they
for
do
him to
such a
move.
good job with
Oh, and a straight
Stephen
right.
Rogan.
Hawkins
Martin's
is hurt.
pouring it on. Hook, hook.
And that's
Yeah.
a big right hand
I
from
mean,
Martin.
there's-
Hawkins' guard is shaking.
All right, we can end on that.
That's fantastic.
Transformers, robots in disguise, trick or treat, trick or treat, and don't
Play
give
us
me
out,
any
Kevin.
of that bite-sized shit. Transformers,
Long one.
robots
It's been
in
a week or
disguise,
two.
trick or
All right, everybody. Thank you for listening and indulging us and stuff. Blah, blah, blah. All right.
I had both playing.
What did you do? Oh. All right. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you for listening. Yada, yada, yada.